Now, one thing I didn't touch on entirely in the last video was my watering schedule. Now, I did get one comment asking me to elaborate on that, so here we go. I found for me here, in my climate, my soil type, etc., 3 waterings a day for a week was absolutely sufficient. In fact, I probably, towards the end, cut it back to only 2. It was just enough. The idea behind it is you want to make sure that the soil remains damp at all times, but not excessively soggy and wet to encourage disease, or allowed to dry out. So if in your part of the world, that means you're watering maybe 4 or 5 times a day for the first few days of germination, then so be it. If you're like me and you can get away with 2 to 3 times a day for the first week, amazing, great stuff. Once the seed starts to germinate and we're about that 10 to 14 day mark, you don't need to be watering it multiple times a day. In fact, start to back it off and maybe look at watering maybe 3 times a week. See how it goes. If it starts to look a bit thirsty, increase the water. If it looks healthy and it looks like it's not struggling and the ground's starting to build up a bit too much water, back it off again. The simple answer is it's going to be different for every single application or every single situation. I can give you the rough tips and tricks and guides, but it's going to be different where you are. The other thing to keep in mind is we want to make sure that we get these roots down nice and deep. So we do want to reduce the watering as soon as we can.